Advisory Lizard here, back again with another video for you guys. And today we're starting a brand new series that I'm super excited about. I'm going to be calling this budget something. I don't know, it'll be in the title, you guys will know what it's called. But in this video I'm going to be making a budget team for all of you budget ballers out there, and the cards that I think are going to be the best. Maybe not necessarily, you know, name cards like pink diamonds. It's gonna be more like the amethyst, the rubies, the cards that are gonna ball out regardless of their tier. Now the one thing I will say about this is it's getting a little bit more expensive. A lot of the budget cards that have been prevalent all last season have kind of spiked in price, so you're gonna need at least, I'd probably say, like 50k MT, so 50,000 MT for you to be able to do this. And I'm not gonna say that's impossible, and I'll show you some ways how. But first of all, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put this lineup together for you guys. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna call this budget. Like I said, don't know what I'm going to name the series yet, but we're going to call it budget. We're going to jump right into it. Now at the point guard position, you have a couple options. Some of them being more expensive, some of them being cheaper. The first one I'm going to start off with is this Amethyst Chris Paul. Now this card is just a super well-rounded card. 95 offense, 90 defense, 1 HOF, 37 gold, 9 silver, 2 bronze. Now the important ones that he has are he does already come with clamps, which is an expensive badge. Quick first step, another expensive badge. Already has range extender. I believe he has intimidator somewhere on there. He might not. You might have to add that onto him if you'd like to keep him, you know, decent. Be able to contest shots at the shorter 6 foot height that he is. But this card is really good. As you can see, I've actually played quite a few games for him. I normally use him in limited challenges when I can. Great stats, can shoot the 3, obviously can shoot the mid, can't dunk, but can finish at the rim. His finishing is underrated. I mean, defensively, he's amazing. The only downside to this card is he is 6 foot. This card's going to run you about 6,000 MT, give or take. Now, the one that I would 100% recommend, and this is going to be a pricey card, is going to be this Michael Carter Williams. Now, this card's going to cost you about 20k, which is like kind of crazy for an amethyst. But he has a 95 offense, 92 defense. If you guys saw I already made a video on this card, so I'm not going to go into his stats or anything like that. But this card is pretty much going to be your stopper to Magic Johnson. Say you run into Gary Payton, like a taller point guard you're going to be able to actually stop because he is 6'6". This is definitely a card I recommend checking into if you can. Now, say you just don't have that MT whatsoever at all. Markelle Fultz is another great option. It's the one as another kind of budgety-esque player. Of course, you can always go down a tier. There's also a Ruby Chris Paul. I'm not sure that I have him, or if I pass him, he doesn't have contracts on him. Yep, right here, this Ruby Chris Paul, same thing. I'm not sure what his price is, but you might as well go with the Amethyst. So, you know, we're going to go with one that I would recommend, but actually, we'll go with the budgety one. We'll go Chris Paul. He's going to cost you about, so you're about like 6k MT now. Now, the shooting guard position, you have a lot of options here. Now, there are 3 cards in my mind that I think are definitively the best cards you can get for a very small price. Actually, 4. Rex Chapman is number 1. Is this the first one I see? He is a great card, great 3-point shot. If you get that Tom Gugliotti with him, he becomes an amethyst, becomes a much more reliable player. He has gold limitless, or range extender, sorry, it's not limitless anymore. He's just a really well-rounded card, nice jumper. But I think there are better options. For me, Eric Gordon and Nick Anderson are have remained 2 of the best budget cards in the game. Especially Eric Gordon. Like, this card is just amazing. I love this card so much. That 93-3, 86 ball control, good enough defense to get by, super fast. I mean, just he comes with every badge you'd ever want him to have. Same thing with Nick Anderson, just Nick Anderson has much better defense. He's a much better defender. You know, he comes with gold clamps, I believe. That was kind of the big deal with this card, is he already had clamps on him. Or not gold clamps, it's bronze clamps. But I think there is one better, and that is this brand new Wesley Matthews. Now, you have to get XP to get him, which, you know, it's a grind. But I think this card honestly is going to end up being better than both Nick Anderson and Eric Gordon. I've used this card. He has a really smooth jump shot. His badges are awesome. He has every shooting badge. He has gold clamps, which is really good that he already has that. And he has bronze range extender, which is good enough to get by. He has a 91-3, good finishing at the rim, good ball control. I mean, super solid defense, and he's not very slow at all. If you get this card, I definitely recommend giving it a shot. I'm going to go with him just because it's a free card and it's not going to make you guys spend any MT, and we want to save that MT as much as possible. Now, the small forward position, it gets a little rough. There aren't a whole lot of options, especially if you missed out on last season when we got this Mo Pete, who I would just say 100%. But if you're just starting out, there aren't a whole lot of cards that I can recommend that are going to be, you know, like budget friendly. Now one of them that I can recommend though, that's going to cost you around, I don't know, 6,000, 5,000, somewhere around there, is going to be this Xavier McDaniel. This card is going to be just a lockdown guy for you. A lot of people are going to be running Cam Reddish, you know, Kevin Durant, whoever they might have that's super OP at small forward. This guy is going to be able to guard them, along with give you a little bit of offense with that 82-3, 87 mid, 86 ball control. I mean, look at that defense. Defensively, this card is amazing. 90 speed. He's super fast. Has a nice verse, nice strength. Hall of Fame Heart Crusher. This is a super solid card. Honestly, it's really the only card I can recommend at this point. You know, Hidu is not terrible, but with Hidu, you're getting more offense than you are defense, and that's just not a good move. He's not entirely slow. His jump shot isn't the best, but it's not the worst. Now, what if I were you? I would pick up Xavier McDaniel. I'd run him there, and I'd run Hidu at the 3 off your bench. That's just me though. Now the thing with the Xavier is it depends on who your power forward is. Now for most people, picking a power forward is easy. You're just going to go, you're going to find a power forward, you're going to take him. For the most part, that's actually kind of what you do. Depends on what you want to run. For me personally, if I can find him, there he is. This Pascal Siakam is a bucket. He is a walking bucket and a great card. You know, 86 3 ball, great offense all around. There's nothing he can't do. Defensively, same thing, nothing he can't guard. Speed wise, he's actually pretty fast. He is a little short, but that's okay because most people just run Zion or KD or someone like that at the power forward anyways. So I definitely recommend picking up Pascal, running him at your forward. Once again, this total cost right now, you're probably looking at like maybe 20K, depending on how much, you know, how much you get these cards for and what the prices are looking like. Now, this is going to be your most expensive card. Is going to be your center. Now, it also depends on how you play. I personally, I know I'm cheesy. I like 5 out. I've always liked 5 out in 2K. It's just been my go-to. But if you don't want to use 5 out, you can always go with Dino Raja. Always a great card. He plays super well. He'll grab you a bunch of boards. He'll play good, solid defense. He's just a super well-rounded center. Now, if you wanted a 5 out, which is what I recommend, you know, if you want to play competitive, if you want to make it and actually do something in unlimited, which is kind of what this lineup's for, you're going to want to try out Thon Maker. This card to me is probably one of the better centers in the game. As you can see, he's averaging quite a few rebounds, excuse me, assists, all that. He's just super good. He does come with gold, quick first step. He has stop and go. He has a lot of playmaking badges. This card offensively is just a beast. 82-3, so we'll knock down that 3. 77 ball control is crazy for a 7-footer. 85 block, not terrible defense, not terrible rebounding, and he's super fast. Now the biggest issue, he will get back down, but that's just where you have to use your athleticism and just put your hands up and hope for the best, or draw all over Pascal. You know, I really haven't had issues with him defensively though. I know other people have, but I definitely recommend getting this card. He's about 8,000. He's gonna be a little bit more pricey. Now for this starting lineup, it might cost you around 20K. Which isn't anything too crazy. It's not too bad, you know. And obviously Xavier McDaniel can be swapped out for anybody. If you have a card that you prefer, definitely swap them out. Don't think that these are the cards. Now for your bench, honestly, if you just you know, if you have some MT left over, I would go for cards that, you know, you just have, like, you know what I mean, like you got that extra MT, start slotting them in. So I'd start with maybe Michael Carter Williams, go to your 2 guard. It's the same thing. It's just all the cards I recommend. Now you can't go Donovan Mitchell. This card's kind of lost its mojo though, I will say. It's just not as competitively good anymore, especially with shooting the way it is. How much better shooting's gotten since that season. So I would definitely go between Nick Anderson. I prefer Eric Gordon, but that's my preference. You can always buy the card, try him out. Now small forward, this is where it gets interesting. You take Hidu. I'd take Hidu off the bench, to be honest, just for his price point. He's going to be a cheap card. Now for the power forward off the bench, there's really no other power forward that I like that's a true power forward. Now you can run the Fonzo Ellis. I know a lot of people like this card, and he's literally super cheap. He's like 2,000 MT. He can shoot the 3. He can dunk. Doesn't really have good ball control, but that's fine. Good defense. It's a super well-rounded card. So I definitely, you know, you can run LaFonso there. And as far as your big man off the bench goes, this is where your personal preference, because most of the budget cards for center really aren't there. You can run Minute Bull or Bull if you have either of them. If you want to run a big center, they can kind of stretch the 4 and shoot the 3. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can always pick up the Glenn Baby Davis. This card isn't terrible. He is 6'9", so he'll be a shorter center for you guys, but he does have this, the shot for it. He does 100% have the strength, I believe. Yeah, he has 96 strength, so he's actually not a terrible center. I've used the card, not a bad jumper. Now, if you didn't want LaFonso Ellis, there is one more option that I didn't talk about that's in the game. He is a small forward, and he is a beast of a card and always has been. Jonathan Isaac, this card is amazing. He is 6'11". You can run him at the 4. I always run this card at the 4. It's just where he plays best, in my opinion. He can shoot the 3. He can dunk. He has great ball control. He has that defense it speaks for itself. Great rebounding, great speed. Doesn't have the strength, but has the vert. He's gonna be a good clamp guy. And you got to remember, with him, he is 6'11". So this dude is tall and will clamp anybody up. So that's just an extra card. I'll put him all the way back here, so you can keep that in mind. Just in case you need him, that's going to be the guy to get if you have a little bit of MT. Now, once again, the more expensive cards are going to be this Jonathan Isaac, Thon Maker, Michael Carter-Williams. Not too sure about Eric Gordon. Haven't seen his price in a while, so it could be more expensive. But at the end of the day, this is just what I recommend as a budget squad. Now, you can use whatever you want. Use cards that you like. Use cards that you're going to be comfortable with. You like their jump shot. You like how they play. Don't listen to dudes like me who come out here and they're just like, hey, this is the best card undeniably, because that's just my opinion. And I play it differently than anyone else, in case you're wondering, this is my God squad, I guess you can call it, is right here. Ignore Michael Carter-Williams, and this is just a random card off the bench. But this is the squad that I run with. This is how I like to play the game. I'm more defensive based. Baron Davis gets swapped out often for D Wade, moving Iggy if I need to. A lot of defense. I don't have a lot of limitless 3 guys. But I do like stretching the floor. I do like running big, running the 5 out because people off ball in the center. And the best way to counter it is by having a shooting center, which is why Thon Maker, Glenn Davis, any card that can shoot at the center position is going to be your best friend. Now, the last thing before I go is I definitely recommend you guys investing into a coach. Nick Nurse is a fantastic coach, but he's a little pricey. Just try to get a coach that you like. Nick Nurse is nice because it doesn't give you any negatives. Unlike other coaches where it's like bad comeback attempts. So keep that in mind when you have your coach, that it does affect how you play and how your team will play. So keep that in mind as well. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 1, I guess. It's a little bit longer of an episode. I'm sorry, but it's just I had a lot to get through. It'll be a lot shorter, especially come Friday when we get, the new set that comes out, and I'll be able to go through those cards. Let you guys know if there are any other good budget cards for you to pick up. And my game plan is when I pick up a new budget card, I'm going to have gameplay of the budget lineup itself, just kind of show you guys how I would play with it, just so you guys can have an idea of, maybe how, if I play like your play style, maybe it'll work for you. If not, that's totally fine. I understand. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Leave a like if you did. Comment down below if you have any budget cards that you'd recommend me to try out, and I'll go ahead and give them a shot and see if they fit in the lineup and see where they fit. So if you're subscribed here, subscribe to me, I guess, if you'd like, for daily content, and like I said, for the continuation of this series. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a great day, staying safe out there, and until next time, peace, y'all.